You ever stare at your grocery receipt so long you start questioning your life choices? I'm not talking about, did I really need that pack of Oreos? No, I mean, that deep, existential ache when you realize the receipt's longer than your last relationship. I'm standing there in the checkout line, holding a crumpled $50, watching it disappear faster than a politician's promise. I whisper to myself, how the hell did eggs get $4 a dozen again? Then it hits me. Every dollar I just spent could have gone somewhere else, but where? That's how I met my new arch nemesis, something they call opportunity cost. Now I know, sounds like another Wall Street word, right? Like something yelled by a guy in suspenders over champagne while the rest of us are microwaving last night's mac and cheese. But trust me, it's the single most practical thing you need to understand if you don't want to keep wondering why your savings account always looks like a ghost town. See, opportunity cost is basically the price of the road you didn't take. Simple as that. Every time you say yes to something, you're silently saying no to something else. Usually something smarter, cheaper, or more peaceful. But we never see that bill until it's too damn late. I first figured this out the hard way. Last year, my buddy Dave called me about this can't-miss side hustle, flipping used electric scooters. Bro, he says, they're the future. So I dump my weekend, rent a van, buy a couple busted scooters, watch 20 YouTube tutorials, and 3 days later I'm sitting in a parking lot with 2 battery corpses that cost me more than my water bill. Meanwhile, my garden project, the one I'd been putting off for months, turned into a mosquito farm. That weekend, gone. My back, destroyed. My $300, let's just say it found the future, all right? Someone else's bank account. That, ladies and gentlemen, is opportunity cost. The money, the time, the peace, all traded for a dumb maybe. And yep, I know what you're thinking. Well, Bill, that's just regret. Nope. Regret's emotional. Opportunity cost is math. Cold, simple math. You trade A for B, and sometimes B sucks. It's the economics of everyday screw-ups. Want a bigger picture? Think gas prices. You drive 10 miles across town to save 5 cents a gallon. Sounds smart, till you realize the gas you burned getting there cost more than what you saved. That's the unseen price of feeling clever. And I've done it, trust me. The win feels good for 15 minutes, then your wallet quietly weeps. Or take buy now, pay later. Those shiny buttons online whisper, it's just $8 today. Next thing you know, 8 tiny bills have turned into an avalanche. Opportunity cost kicks in because the $8 you blew on whatever gadget you didn't need could have been your buffer for next month's electric bill. When rates spike again. And they will spike, because of course they will. Let's zoom out for a minute. The big dogs on Wall Street love throwing allocation around, where to put your money, your time, your focus. But for the rest of us, it's simpler. Every hour you work overtime at a job you hate instead of learning a skill that could bump your pay next year, you're paying an opportunity cost. Every weekend you binge Netflix instead of fixing the leaky faucet that'll cost $400 to repair later? Same story. The world's full of these invisible toll booths. We don't see the signs, but the charges come due anyway. The funny part? Nobody warns you because it doesn't show up on any bill. You only feel it in the tiredness, in the maybe later dreams, in the small panic attacks you get when payday arrives, but your account already feels empty. According to what I dug up, and I hope I read it right, America's average household debt hit $1,600 per person last summer. Add mortgage, car payments, and a few buy now, pay later crimes of passion, and suddenly most Americans are one emergency away from going under. Not because they're dumb, but because they never learned to price their yes. Opportunity cost ain't sexy, but it's ruthless. It's the whisper behind every temptation, every beer tab, every shiny subscription, every limited drop that's actually unlimited in regret. You can't avoid it. You can only decide which losses you're okay living with. Yep. I remember when I used to laugh at budgeting. I'll just make more money, I said, like a clown in denial. But income ain't infinite, sleep ain't optional, and energy sure as hell has an expiration date. So every extra gig you chase instead of resting, that's a debt your body will eventually collect with interest. These days, I've started measuring my choices differently. Here's how I try, keyword, try, to stay out of the dumb zone. Step 1, price your hours, not just your dollars. If something costs you 5 hours to earn but gives you 5 minutes of joy, it's not a deal. It's daylight robbery. I started thinking about my time like rent. Every wasted hour still costs me something even if nobody's sending a bill. Step 2, label your no's clearly. You can't say yes to everything without bleeding dry. When I say no to overpriced takeout on a Tuesday, I'm not depriving myself. I'm buying peace for next month's gas bill. Frame it that way, and no starts sounding a lot smarter. Step 3. Automate your sanity. Anything that makes good decisions automatic, paying bills on time, saving a tiny chunk before I touch a dime, is like installing guardrails on a mountain road. I still swerve sometimes, but at least I don't drive straight off the cliff. And yeah, I still screw up. I'll splurge on some dumb gadget or lose a weekend chasing an opportunity. But the difference is I catch myself faster now. Because every time I open my wallet, I ask one brutal question. What am I giving up for this? Opportunity cost is the ghost that haunts every pay stub. The tricky part is it ain't trying to punish you, it's trying to remind you. Remind you that life's budget isn't just money, it's time, energy, attention, sanity. If you don't track what you're trading, someone else will do the math for you. And trust me, they always round up in their favor. So yeah, maybe opportunity cost sounds academic on paper, but out here, it's just survival math. And if you don't start learning it now, the world will keep teaching it the hard way. One overdraft, one missed chance, one grocery receipt at a time. Yep, the sad part is I still bought those damn Oreos. You know, the older I get, the more I realize life's just one big grocery aisle, so every shelf screaming limited offer, while your wallet whispers good luck, genius. Every damn choice has a price tag, even the ones that say free. That's what the fancy folks call opportunity cost, but to me, it's just the tax you pay for not thinking ahead. Now, somewhere back in Econ 101, some professor said opportunity cost means the value of the next best alternative you didn't choose. Sounds elegant, right? But in the real world, it means every time you pick one door, you might be locking another one forever. Here's what I mean. Last month, I spent 3 hours scrolling Facebook Marketplace looking for a used desk instead of just working that freelance gig I'd been putting off. I saved maybe $20, but lost a $150 job. Boom. That's opportunity cost, the hidden loss you never see printed on a receipt. The ghost expense trailing behind every smart decision. See, the world runs on scarcity, limited time, limited money, limited sanity. But we behave like we've got infinite stock. That's why everyone's broke and tired. We're burning our rarest asset, time, chasing things that don't even matter. And yep, I do it too, because it feels productive. It feels like taking action. Hell, even economists fall for it. There's something called the sunk cost fallacy. Basically, it means when you've already wasted time or money on something, your brain tricks you into wasting more, because you've come too far to quit. I did that with crypto back in 2022, bought the dip, then the dip dipped again, then I dipped out of my rent money. By the time I admitted defeat, I'd sunk more pride than dollars. But opportunity cost isn't just about what you lose by buying. It's about what you miss by staying stuck. Had I pulled out and focused on my business clients earlier, I'd have made real, boring money instead of chasing digital rainbows. That's the macro to micro squeeze right there. In the macro world, governments do the same crap with budgets. They pour trillions into a project and then can't pull out, because admitting they wasted it would kill their careers. In the micro world, we hang on to bad jobs, toxic relationships, or cluttered garages because we've invested too much to quit. Yep, we're all just mini governments running in the red. But here's the subtle part most folks miss. Opportunity cost isn't just economic, it's emotional. Every hour I spend doom-scrolling economic news because I want to stay informed is an hour I didn't spend sleeping, cooking, or taking my niece to the park. That's a cost. It's invisible. No alarms, no overdraft, but it's real. Economists break resources down into factors of production: land, labor, capital, and time. Well, I ain't got land or capital, and my labor's worth whatever the market offers me that day. So that leaves time, and time's the only currency you can never earn back. Here's a kicker. People think opportunity cost is about choosing between good and bad. It's not. It's about choosing between good and better. That's what makes it so damn sneaky. You think you made a solid decision, like taking that safe job instead of freelancing, until you realize the safer path also meant saying no to flexibility, creativity, and maybe a few less Monday migraines. And yep, nobody teaches this stuff growing up. School tells you how to calculate compound interest, but not how to notice opportunity cost. So you grow up treating every decision as separate, when really they're all connected by a single thread: what you gave up instead. Let me tell you another one. Back in 2015, I turned down a road trip with some buddies because I wanted to finish a side gig that paid well. $500 bucks. I thought I was being smart, but those guys built a small business on that trip. They met someone who later hired them full-time. My paycheck vanished in a week. Their vacation made them thousands. That is the cruelest part of opportunity cost. You don't realize the size of the thing you gave up until years later. So when economists talk about rational allocation of resources, yeah, that's the theory. But in real life, we allocate out of fear and fatigue. We say yes because saying no feels rude. We chase instant comfort over distant gain. That's when cognitive bias, a fancy word for how your brain lies to you, kicks in. There's the present bias, making us overvalue what we can have now. There's the loss aversion bias, making us more scared of losing $1 than excited to gain $2. And together, they make us suck at calculating opportunity cost. Yep, rational man, my ass. Sometimes I think if we renamed opportunity cost to the price of every yes, people might finally get it. Every yes you say to small comfort, a coffee, a subscription, a fling, a lazy Sunday, means a no to some future version of you who could have used that time or money better. It's not about guilt, it's about clarity. Let's get a little heavier here. Imagine two universes. Universe A, you keep spending like now, tiny pleasures, minor leaks, I'll fix it later vibes. Universe B, you redirect just 10% of that energy into learning, investing, or resting intentionally. Same lifespan, same income, same chaos, but after 5 years, they look like two different planets. The funny part is both started with the same paycheck. The only difference was how they valued their unseen choices. That's opportunity cost in motion. The invisible fork you take 100 times a day without even noticing. I read this psychology study from Princeton. It said human brains are wired to undervalue long-term payoff because survival used to depend on immediate action. That made sense in caves. Doesn't help when you're deciding between buying a couch or dumping that cash into a retirement account, though. Our instincts haven't upgraded since fire. The economy sure has. So yeah, opportunity cost's not some textbook chart. It's why you skip the gym. It's why you can't save. It's why you wake up at 2 a.m. wondering if you messed up somewhere. Because deep down, you know something valuable got traded away and you didn't even notice it leaving. But here's what I'm trying now. My Bill Struggle Survival Framework, TM pending. Ha. 1, run a shadow ledger. Write down the thing you didn't do every time you spend. What did it cost you in time, potential, or peace? You bought lunch for $15? Fine, just jot, didn't save $50 toward replacing bald tires. May sound dumb, but after a week of logging what I didn't do, you suddenly see the invisible bleeding. 2, test every decision against the next best. Before saying yes, imagine what your next best use of that time or money is. If the next best is 10x better, maybe pause. It's what economists call marginal analysis. But for regular folks, it's just don't trade steak for spam. 3, separate earning time from investment time. Most of us just earn, trading time for money. But investment time is when your work compounds, like learning a skill, building a network, or repairing your health. You skip investment time, you're stuck earning forever. 4, accept missed boats, don't chase them. The emotional cost of FOMO is brutal. You can't recover everything you missed, and chasing makes you miss new openings. Opportunity cost cuts both ways. Obsessing over the past steals the present too. 5, do the regret budget. Each month, note what you regret not doing more, saving, resting, calling your mom, taking a class. Those regrets, price tags. Your next month's plan should cost fewer of them. Now, before some genius says, "Bill, you sound like a finance coach," let me stop you right there. I'm not selling peace of mind. I'm renting it month by month, just like you. Half the time I talk sense, the other half I still buy stupid gadgets at midnight because the ad had guitar music. But nowadays, when I screw up, I at least know what it cost me. And that's the goal. Awareness before regret. Because awareness is free, ignorance is expensive as hell. Opportunity cost ain't just a concept, friend. It's a mirror. It shows you where your money, time, and hope have been sneaking off to when you weren't looking. It's humbling, uncomfortable, but kind of freeing too, because once you start seeing it, you stop living like life's happening to you and start realizing it's all been happening because of you. Yep. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta return a $200 air fryer I didn't need. Turns out the opportunity cost of crispy wings was my rent.